Welcome to the 2024 New Jersey Film Festival Filmmaker Interview Series. Today we have a wonderful filmmaker from Ireland, and I will introduce her and our special guest as well in a second, but I need to let you know that the Spring 2024 New Jersey Film Festival will be taking place on weekends between January 26th and February 18th on weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. The festival is a hybrid, which means that the films will be available to watch in person as well as online. Films are available for 24 hours on their show date, and then there's in-person screenings at 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. on their respective days. So the festival itself is available at $15 per program, which is a great deal because you get to watch it in person and online for that price. And believe it or not, we have people that do both. So they watch the film during the day and then come and hang out with us in the evening and interact with the filmmaker, because there's going to be about 43 films screened and about 20 of the filmmakers will be there doing Q&As like this one live with the in-person audience. So please do come and join us. I will share with you at the end of this program how to purchase tickets, but if you want a website address quick and dirty, you go to njfilmfest.com and you click on current events, and then you click the red button for the Spring 2024 New Jersey Film Festival to get all the information, show dates, and that kind of stuff. Well, okay, we have Evelyn Reese, who is one of the festival jurors, who's here to ask questions with me. I'm Albert Nigrin, I'm the festival director, and Cléa van der Grijn is the director of the wonderful reinterpretation of Alice in Wonderland story called The Disembodied, oh my God,
Adventures of
The
Alice.
Disembodied
Adventures of Alice. Welcome.
Adventures. Oh my God, look at that. The Disembodied Adventures of Alice, which is an image behind me. That's one of the great images that you see in this film. It's a really amazing film. It's really a very unusual undertaking in the fact that you've taken a very popular story and given it almost a gothic spin. Is that something that you wanted to do, Cléa?
To be honest, I had no idea what I wanted to do. It happened very much organically, but I was very interested in the Alice in Wonderland characters because each of them represents a mental health illness, and that's what I wanted to elaborate within the structures of my funny brain of how to make a classic story into something that's quite relevant to today.
And very personal.
And extremely personal. Extremely personal. Yeah.
I mean, I loved everything that you did. The film is almost an audiovisual experience. I don't necessarily just label it as a film. And as a painter, because I know you're also a very talented painter, that the painterly qualities of your film do shine through. And I think, did you want it to be a kind of dance, operatic AV film? Or is it something that happened as you started making the film? Was that something that you pre-planned?
No, it was very much pre-planned. What's not pre-planned is how all the ideas come into my head. That I don't know where they come from. But once the structure is there, it comes out really easy. I want the opera for the passion, for the richness, for the layers. I wanted everything to be multi-layered in the film. And also each film still had to be beautiful in itself. Whether you were following the narrative or not, or whether you understood or not, it was really important to me that you could see, feel, taste, and smell every moment of the film. Definitely, that's where I suppose the painterly bit comes in.
Yes, I mean, it's synesthesia, right? I mean, the merging of the senses do come into play in your film. You can taste the film, you can touch the film, you can hear the film. All those elements definitely come together very nicely. And I must mention that you're a New Jersey Film Festival alumnus. We screened your short film Flux a few years ago. So it's nice to see the evolution of your style as well as you move through making more movies. But I've asked enough questions. It's time for Evie to ask questions of you.
I really enjoyed the costuming in the film, and it's so distinctly its own. I was wondering if you had any specific inspirations or if there were time periods that you looked at when creating the looks.
Oh, okay. So everything I do is based on experience or memory. So the house is my house and the clothes are all my own clothes. So everything is something that I wear or I have used. So literally I am pulling from what I have, what I own, what I wear. So all the props are my own. For instance, in that rather lush eating scene, people were saying, I'd like to put this in or that in. And I was like, no. So everything in it has a story and is an intricate part of my life. Everything has been used before. And if anything's specifically made, it will be then carried on to the next painting or to the next film. There's nothing, everything is considered. And the clothes are, the funeral dress is an old Ozzie Clark dress, who's an amazing fashion designer from the 70s, which was my mother's. And the big black silk dress made by an Irish designer, and I wore it to a film festival in Mexico. And yeah, they're all my clothes. So there you go.
Everything is beautiful too. And I think that I wanted to talk about the pool scene too, because that is instrumental. It's at the beginning and at the end of the film and throughout. And that's obviously not in your house. So where was that shot? And
that was shot in a near where I live, about 20 minutes away, in a small pool that was closed for the season. And I had previously filmed underwater for a film I did called Jump, so I was aware of all the complications and the sound, and also people only have a certain amount of time to spend in the water before they start, wrinkling up and going blue. But the idea of the water was very important for me. One reason is that for mental health, lots of people have started sea swimming every single day. And I started sea swimming, but I couldn't bring the actors into the sea because, I don't know, that wouldn't have been fair under the circumstances, especially with the masks. It was quite hard for them to breathe. But the idea of the water carried on from my film Jump is that there's another world. There was the world beneath and the world above, and also how I compartmentalize dreams and ideas. So the water was important.
You have an amazing cast, and Senna O'Hara, who plays Alice, who's behind me with no hair, well, very little hair. And you have Hilary Bowen Walsh, who plays the hair. That's also her. Tell us about all these folks and how were you able to bring them together? I think, if I remember correctly, Hilary was in Flux as well.
He was.
Yeah.
I think that it's very hard to make films like I make because the financial backing isn't there to do it. So it has to be initially a labor of love and trust. And these actors like my painting, like my installation, like my sound. And they were actually interested in working with me for the sake of working with me. Nothing was promised. It was just really, really hard work, and we collaborated together. But they are from a local theatre group, so they went through as child actors or the younger actors as well. So everybody is from the locality, and like Senna's mother was involved with the props and everything else, because I don't like working with a big group. And now I'm making another feature, starting shooting in a few weeks' time, and I've got the same cast again, and the same crew with just one extra person. So I like to keep it tight.
I hear you. And make sure you send it to us when it's done. You absolutely must. We love your work. And I'm sorry that we didn't meet
I know.
we didn't get to see Jump. I think that we started with Flux, and I think that's where we started to see, wow, this person is really talented and she has a sensibility we don't see often. And I don't know if you saw the movie Poor Things, which opened here in
Tomorrow,
December.
I'm going to see it
I
tomorrow.
think you will really enjoy it. I see a lot of parallels, to be honest with you. And I think he had millions of dollars, and I think your film looks like millions of dollars were sunk into it. And anyway, I'm sorry, I keep asking the questions. Evelyn, you ask more questions now, just more than one, please.
Of course. So very few times in the film do the characters move away from the table, and when they do, it's a very impactful thing, and it almost creates like a living doll sensation. And I was wondering, like, what was the motivation behind the table being your primary setting?
Because in Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Hatter's Tea Party, I wanted to have something that was cost effective before we even started. And to have, I mean, this is very, very basic and very real, but it was a big table, and I knew that we'd be able to use the room in many formats and keep retaining the integral structure of the table. And I liked the idea of how the table became the core of how the characters started unraveled to become more of who they really were themselves. But I did like the idea. It was like kind of like a form. The only formality in the whole film was that held it. It was like the glue of the film. The table was so, and also it's a bloody brilliant table. It's a great table.
Ask another one, Abby.
Okay. Creating a film that's so abstract, it yields many interpretations and understandings of the content. I was wondering if you found that frustrating, or if you see the beauty in like the ambiguity and the flexibility of the content in the film.
I think that I'm very lucky in so far as that I came to film by accident. I had no intention of making film. I was doing a residency in Mexico, and I was unable to express something through painting. So I filmed it, but I used it as a part of a tour that traveled. And I was going, you know, sometimes you need different languages, different tools, different mediums to express things. But I just see film the same way as I see painting, and that I am so stubborn in what's in here that is going to come out, that nothing is going to compromise it. And I recently won a pretty big award, and it was amazing because they said that they're giving me a distribution deal, and I haven't even made the film yet. And they said to me, this is before I knew I got it. The interview panel said, so what kind of audience are you looking for? Or what do you think you're going to change when you're making this film? And I thought, this is a trick question. You know, what am I about to answer here? So I said, I'm going to change nothing. And they said, brilliant, because so many people, when all of a sudden they get supported or financed, they change to accommodate other people. And I really want to keep that ambiguity. And some people who know Alice in Wonderland and who know James Joyce, they will see it on an intellectual level. But other people who like dance and song will see it on that level. And that also, in a way, it's good not to talk about it, because when I talk about it, that's what it becomes. You know, I like people to have their own interpretation. Like if I say it's all about gender, all of a sudden it's going to be all about gender. Or if I say it's about mental illness, it's going to be about mental illness. So it's very easy for labels to stick. And I'm trying to, after giving 100 labels, to keep it open.
I must say that the look of the film is just amazing. And I know you're going to come to our screening. We're very excited about meeting you and having you present the film to our audience in person. So we're really excited about that. We're also really excited that you're director of photography, is also going to be coming, and his name is Ciaran Carty. I always Irish names and me are not. The pronunciation, I don't want to butcher his name. So you please tell me his name.
His name is Ciaran Carty, and
Carty.
I met Ciaran years ago. He was filming me for some TV program, and he was a commercial cinematographer. And I got a present of a camera I didn't know how to use, and I rang him. And he is amazing because he is so talented, yet he has no creative ego. So between us, that's how it works. He says, "No, Cléa, that's not going to work." And I go, "Well, it has to." And he works it out. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. He's a joy to work with. He really, really is.
The underwater stuff is really hard to do, and he really handled that brilliantly too, because I think it was probably difficult for the actors, but you know, the way that you use the pool is just amazing, because we do go up and down, and you get the sense that you're inside somebody's head, and that this film is very cerebral. You know, you're inside the mind of the creator, and I think the way that you mentioned the film in your opening comments just underscores that for us. I wanted to quote, Evie has written a review that will be published at New Jersey Stage sometime soon, but I love the fact that she called your film a fever dream. And I think that is perhaps something that you also will like, since it has that kind of cerebral quality, and the fact that it's not, you know, it is a dream, and it is not necessarily reality based, but maybe it is. So I don't know. Do you like that term?
I do like that term. I like any term. I like the idea that somebody makes the effort to come up with a term. You know, that in itself is fantastic. Did you notice the magic mushrooms in it though? Did you notice they were hallucinating on mushrooms?
Mm-hmm.
See, that was only one level of the otherworldly. You know, wasn't, so you are correct in saying that it could be a dream or it could be a fever, but it's that line between the two. And in relation, just going back to the pool, when we did the jump film, we were all in the pool together, like the camera, the sound, all the crew were in the pool helping. That's how small it is. So we're all like wet and cold with the actors in the pool. So that's how everybody becomes so comfortable, you know, together.
You're giving me ideas for my next project. Uh-oh. Evie, you get to ask the last question.
I was wondering, because the characters, each of the actors, do a fabulous job of embodying the different levels of madness and pain. I was wondering how much of that was your instruction and how much was just their, I guess, intuition with the characters.
And the way that I work is, I was told that I work not incorrectly, that's not, but I don't work like other directors. I'm learning, but I would just make drawings and then talk. And they go, well, you know, you meant to have a screenplay with, you know, directions and things. So what I do is I do workshops, and they do yoga and movement, and we sit and we play games, and we learn and we learn and we learn and we learn, and we know it so well, but we also know the parts of everybody else that by the time we're shooting, they know it by heart. So I'm not there on the shoot saying, be sad, be happy, do this, do that. They know it inside out before we even have the cameras rolling. And it's all from inside me, I suppose, but different actors bring in their own, obviously, their own experiences and talents and creativity. But for me, I think the most important thing is having your actors trust you, and that you trust them, and that you spend the time really understanding who the actor is, who the director is, who we all are as people, and then park that, and then we do our roles And then when we go home, you put your own, whoever you are, person going home again. But yeah, there was a lot of tears and a lot of fights and a lot of arguments, but all within like 10 minutes. You know, it was full on.
Wonderful. Oh, well, so folks, you absolutely have to come and meet Cléa at the in-person show, which is on Friday, February 2nd. And I'd like to show you how to be able to purchase tickets. So I'm going to share screen. And I'm going to do that right now. So normally folks would go to our website, which is njfilmfest.com. And you can see in the background, this is where you're going to come, Cléa. This is Voorhees Hall. This is the space that we show movies at Rutgers University. It's a large space. It seats 250 people. It has high definition projection system, a nice sound system, and it's got cushy chairs, graded space, soundproofing. I helped to kind of outfit this room because it used to be an echo box when we used to show movies in there when it was on film. And as they adjusted for digital, they made these changes, which have really made it a much nicer and user-friendly space. So once you get to this page, you would click on current events, which just basically bounces you down, and you get to see Miss Amy. Miss Amy was my beloved cat who passed away last year at this time. So we memorialize her as using her as the festival art. And she says to make sure that you click on this button, because you get basic information about ticket prices and the dates, but you really need to push this button, which sends you to our Eventive website page. And now you get to see Miss Amy really big. But the 4 buttons are what you want to explore. I mean, basically here on the welcome page, more basic information, sponsors, driving directions, staff, and stuff like that. But you want to push all of these buttons. The first one is the catalog page. So you click on tickets, and this is where you would purchase tickets. And if you see, we have our very first feature film offering is the Disembodied Adventures of Alice, which I butchered at the very opening of this Q&A. My mind went blank. Don't know why. It's getting older, I guess. But all you need to do, you can click on Learn More to learn more about the film, or you can click on Pre-Order Now. And if you've never seen a movie with us or been on the Eventive website, you would need to register, which takes 20 seconds. And then once you've done that, you can purchase the tickets. You can float over all the other pictures and you can see all the other wonderful programs that we're offering. But then I recommend you go back to the festival site, which takes you back to Miss Amy Big. And then you can click on schedule and see the lineup in a linear form if you like it the old-fashioned way. And you can scroll down and see pictures and blurbs for all the movies. Each program is divided by a red line. And this is telling you that you can watch this movie for 24 hours Eastern Standard Time. So at midnight on February 2nd, you can start watching, and you have 24 hours to finish watching. So let's say you start watching the film at 11:45 p.m. on the 2nd of February, you still have 24 hours to finish it, which is kind of nice. The in-person screening will be at 7 p.m., so you absolutely must come and meet Cléa and Ciaran. And so I want to just go back to our menu page to show you can also access everything here. And if you would like to buy an all-access pass, it's a great deal. If you want to watch 3/4 of the movies, it's a good deal because you'll save significant amounts. If you want to watch everything, it's pretty much half price off. It's only $100. Each program is $15. And again, that's for in-person and online. Last thing I will show you is this last button. And the film guide gives you access to each one of the films individually. And you can see all the way down. Oh my goodness, I went too far. Where did you go?
I'm up there.
I didn't even see it. I thought it was alphabetically. Oh, I guess not. Oh, I missed it. There it is. So the Disembodied Adventures of Alice, you click on the showing. There's only one showing. So, and you can do it online here as well. So I'm going to stop sharing. And I hope you guys will come and join us because it's a wonderful opportunity because this film screening is the world premiere, correct? We are going to be the first to show this worldwide. We're very excited about it. It's a special film by a special artist person, and you have to come and meet her in person on February 2nd. Evie and I will be there as well as many others. We're really excited to meet you. And thank you so much for doing this Q&A, both of you.
Very much. Thank you. Thank you. And what you do is amazing. You're just so, I'm so delighted that I'm showing with you. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Bye.
Bye.